All right, it's got to be around here somewhere. I know they put it around here somewhere. It might be in here. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Look at that. They put this in the trash. Can you believe that? This is my cousin Ryan. He's a cool dude. Back when we were 10 or 11 years old, we spent many hours fishing for catfish, carp, and crappie. One such day, in the middle of summer, I was at a barbecue event, and Ryan rolled up to the event with my Uncle Kevin. In the back of the pickup, they had something very cool. You see, Ryan had gone fishing earlier that morning and caught a massive fish. He proceeded to parade this fish around the event and show it off to myself and my other cousins. We were all in awe of how big this fish was, and if I'm totally honest, we were all a little bit jealous that we hadn't caught something that big. Now keep in mind, I was only around 10 or 11 at this time, and I was really getting into fishing. So this memory of my cousin Ryan catching this massive fish has always stuck in my brain. Now you may be wondering, what was the species of fish that my cousin Ryan caught that day? Well, it was none other than the freshwater drum. Now, the freshwater drum is not a popular game fish at all. As a matter of fact, it is considered a trash fish by the majority of the angling community. But why? What has this fish done to deserve that title? Well, in this video, I'm going to try to answer that question. And I'm also going to answer another question. Is freshwater drum any good to eat? Let's find out. Now, to understand why the freshwater drum is such a hated fish, we first have to understand how the whole category of trash fish gets decided in the first place. One reason why I believe fish like the freshwater drum get classified as trash fish has to do with the way they look. You see, if you would compare a freshwater drum to a beautiful steelhead trout, it would be easiest to pick the trout over the drum just because the trout looks way cooler and more beautiful. As a general rule of thumb, human beings like to praise and champion things that are beautiful and majestic, while we tend to really disregard and push away things that we deem weird or ugly. And sadly, the freshwater drum falls into the latter category. I actually really enjoy catching really weird, gnarly looking fish. I think those types of fish are really interesting. But the rest of the angling community doesn't quite share my fascination with weird, gnarly fish. Another reason why I believe the freshwater drum and other fish in the trash fish category get labeled as such is because of the type of water that they're usually caught out of. You see, fish like carp, suckers, and freshwater drum can absolutely thrive in clean, clear bodies of water, but they also can thrive in places where other game fish don't do very well. I'm talking about brackish, nasty, polluted, stinking, stained bodies of water. Now this is actually pretty incredible, and it speaks to how resilient a lot of these trash fish species are. They're able to survive in more hostile conditions than other more delicate fish, such as walleye, trout, and bass. But this ability to survive and thrive in really nasty bodies of water just reinforces the stereotype that these fish are nasty and gross, when in fact it's actually pretty cool. Now, one of the main reasons why I believe people do not like the freshwater drum is because you usually catch it when you're fishing for other species. I've caught freshwater drum when I am fishing for smallmouth, or when I'm fishing for walleye, when fishing rivers and creeks like this, and of course while fishing lakes as well. It seems like when you're not fishing for the freshwater drum, they're always willing to bite. Got him. Oh my word. Okay, that was not what I was expecting to catch. I just hooked him to a massive drum. That was hilarious. That fish literally chased it in. I have 4-pound test on, so I gotta be kind of careful. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like a 3-4 pound drum right there. Well guys, there you go. That was a surprise catch, to say the least. That's awesome. There he goes. Back into the wild blue yonder. That's hysterical, guys. That was the last fish I was expecting to catch out of this little creek. Freshwater drum are especially disliked here in my state of Ohio. The main reason for this, I believe, is Lake Erie. You see, Lake Erie is the crown jewel of freshwater fishing if you live in Ohio. So most people's experience with a freshwater drum is when they're out on Lake Erie trying to catch a limit of walleye, and they keep catching freshwater drum. Now, obviously, this can be kind of annoying and frustrating, especially if you've paid good money to go out on a walleye charter and all you're catching is freshwater drum. All this does is reinforce the idea that freshwater drum are trashy fish that steal your bait, tear up your lines, and get in the way of you catching your limit of walleye.
You're good. Whenever you're ready.
Hi, can I just get a filet of fish with no tartar sauce? Now, the majority of the American public classifies good-tasting fish as fish that has a fairly mild, neutral flavor. Some would say even a bland flavor. This is no more evident than in the types of fish that people consider good to eat, such as walleye, perch, crappie, and bluegill, and even catfish. For the most part, these fish have a fairly neutral flavor, and this kind of acts as a blank canvas for all kinds of seasonings, marinades, and sauces. Now, this is mostly a cultural thing, because if you go to other countries, such as parts of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, the people over there have no problem eating fish that we would say is fishy or gross. As a matter of fact, I actually heard a woman talking about fish, and she was from Russia, and she said that Americans do not like strong fish. She, however, has no problem eating fish with more of a punchy, strong flavor. Now, fish that are classified as trash fish tend to have a stronger, more fishy flavor when cooked, and even in some cases have a muddy flavor if prepared incorrectly or if they come out of a really dank body of water. And again, this just reinforces the whole kind of disdain that the fishing community has for these fish. I got this fillet of fish for an object lesson. It's really good. Now, one question that I want to answer during the course of this video is whether or not freshwater drum are even edible. Now, because they are considered a trash fish, most anglers do not keep freshwater drum, let alone eat them. They are treated with disdain. Most people think they're a really gross fish that would probably taste terrible, right? Well, there actually is some debate about this online. Some people say that freshwater drum taste amazing. They taste like tilapia, which, if true, is a positive thing. I've even heard some people say that they prefer freshwater drum to walleye, which is kind of crazy. But again, I don't know if any of these claims have any merit because I've never eaten a freshwater drum. Until now. Let's go catch a freshwater drum and see if it's any good. Now, you would think that catching a freshwater drum for this video would be pretty simple. I mean, these guys eat everything. They eat crustaceans, they eat minnows, they eat insects. A lot of times you can catch them on lures or even on night crawlers, on cut bait. Again, they pretty much eat everything. So I was fairly optimistic. There was a nice deep pool in one of my local creeks where I had seen a number of big freshwater drum, and I'd actually caught a small one when I was fishing there before. Well, it turns out if you actually try to catch freshwater drum, you'll end up catching everything but. I ended up actually catching 2 nice sauger, but alas, the freshwater drum would not bite. So I switched up to a basic bobber rig and a gob of waxworms, and I actually threw this right in front of a very large freshwater drum. Bro's coming right towards my bait. Come on, hit it. He's about a foot away from my bait right now. Come on, dude. Bite it, you piece of junk. Look at that. He sees it and he's like, nah. Bro just looked at like a pile of waxworms and just swam away. Like, nah, not into it. This fish is absolutely drunk. I had spent a full day trying to catch these fish without a bite. So in one last-ditch effort, I decided to switch up to an Old Faithful rig. It's getting late in the day and I have a birthday party to go to this afternoon, so I'm going to try one last thing. I went and picked up some Nightcrawlers, which I didn't have earlier today. I was using waxworms and they did not like those. So we got some Nightcrawlers right here. I'm going to go with a very simple bottom rig, a gob Nightcrawler. I'm going to fire it out into this pool and fingers crossed, hopefully we can get something. All right, so I went ahead and put 2 rods out, my bait caster and my spinning rod. Again, I'm using a very simple bottom rig with a gob Nightcrawler, just plunking them out into the pools and letting them sit. All right, just got something here. Something just took the bait here. Let's see what it is. What do we got? Missed it. Nope. Still got it. Got it. All right, we got one. Let's go. Finally got a drum, guys. This has been a mess of a day. All right, look at that. Finally caught ourselves a drum. All right, guys, we finally caught a drum. It's taken a while. The bite's been really slow, but I knew there was some in here, but we finally got one. I'm gonna take this guy home and eat him. Perfect eating size right here, not too big. Getting a bite here. There we go. Got something here. All right. Another drum. There you go. Another freshwater drum. It's got really nice colors on it, actually. So to prepare the freshwater drum, I just basically filleted it out really quickly, skinned it out, and then I actually brined it in some milk for a couple of hours. I find that in general, brining fish in milk just helps them taste a little bit better in my opinion. After the brine was done, I went ahead and added some garlic salt, a little bit of flour, and then fried the fish in butter. All right, so the freshwater drum is cooked and I am ready to eat. The cat is very interested in what we're doing, but I'm gonna have to move it for now. As you can see right there, looks pretty good, smells pretty good, smells like fish. It's mine. Can you go somewhere else? I got the dog right here, I got the cat right here. Everybody's just in rapt attention. Here, get the cat, Rod. All right, here we go. Freshwater drum going in. That tastes really good. I can actually get why some people think freshwater drum tastes like tilapia. This tastes great. Really good. Again, it's got a mild flavor, which for the American palate, myself included, is nice. I seasoned it only with garlic salt and fried it in butter. Not strong, not fishy. Very good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
That's like...
Would you say it tastes like walleye or tilapia?
It's like walleye. It's a little firmer than walleye, maybe.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm very shocked.
Yeah, I'd eat that. That's delicious.
You want to try that freshwater drum? Freshwater drum, sheephead. Would you consider that edible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good?
I'd eat that again.
Well, I have to say I do have a newfound appreciation for the freshwater drum, and I've warmed up to this fish a little bit more. Not that I hated it before making this video, that wasn't the case, I just didn't care much about it. But after researching it, after catching a couple, and after actually cooking this fish and eating it, I have to say, I think this fish is pretty cool. Now, can this fish be annoying if you're trying to catch walleye and all you keep catching is freshwater drum? Of course, I totally get that. It turns out the freshwater drum actually have a vital role in the ecosystem, especially around the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes have a problem with zebra mussels, which are an invasive species, and the freshwater drum do a great deal to help keep those invasive species in check. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, my cousin Ryan had a really awesome experience catching a huge freshwater drum when he was a kid. I was actually talking to him a little bit in preparation for this video, and he actually recalls catching that freshwater drum as a highlight of his childhood when it came to fishing. So the freshwater drum can be really fun to catch. I had a good time catching those freshwater drum in this video, and I've had really fun experiences catching big freshwater drum other times when I'm out on the water, especially if you're using a fly rod or like ultralight fishing gear. So again, I think the freshwater drum is a misunderstood fish that is honestly kind of cool, and yes, you can eat it. It does taste pretty good. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this where I talk about certain fish species and kind of look at them from an interesting perspective, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, this is Brendan Miller. Stay hooked. I'll see you later.